This right here is all it took to make AI videos. Let me show you how. If you're new to my channel, I usually do photography, but yeah, today we're doing something a little different. So I've made this workflow on Sageattn. This workflow is inside ComfyUI. It's a software. Alright guys, a quick disclaimer, this is not a video for beginners. So if you're a beginner, maybe start somewhere else. I'll probably have a few links in a section down below for you guys. But don't start with this, right? That many people use to create, to use those AI models. These models are anywhere from stuff you know, something like ChatGPT or DeepSeek in that case, that you can run straight in these softwares and generate text. You can generate images, you can generate videos. I'm trying to keep this pretty simple, so someone who doesn't have a lot of understanding of AI tools can still follow. But some of you might already know a lot of this stuff, right? Maybe even more than me. So, yes, I made this workflow. The workflow basically, it's supposed to get you to be able to create videos with very low VRAM. I only have a shitty laptop to run the software. It takes obviously a long time and it has to use some tricks, but it works, right? Usually you need 24 gigabytes of VRAM. I don't have 24 gigabytes of VRAM. There's a little workaround that I want to talk about real quick. You can go to Google Colab and there are these notebooks that run ComfyUI. You could run this in one of the notebooks for free, and I'm not sure, but I think you have about 20 gigabytes of VRAM on, I think, a T4 GPU is what you're going to be able to run it on. But it's difficult, it has more steps, and I just wanted to run it locally. It's not much I thought about like doing with it. I just really am really interested in the actual brains of the whole thing, right? Okay, so ComfyUI. In this video we're going to talk about installing it, we're going to talk about installing the workflow, making the environment run, and all those things. If you know how to do all this stuff, or if you may have done it already from my workflow on Sageattn, you can pretty much skip this. We installed ComfyUI. This is very simple, you should just download and extract it. Then we got my workflow from Sageattn. Most instructions for the installation are also on there. Then we installed ComfyUI Manager. Again, if you look this up, you will find everything you need. Now, when you install ComfyUI Manager, you install all the custom nodes in my workflow, right? You can drag and drop my workflow, you can open it with ComfyUI. Just as long as you have it loaded into ComfyUI, you should be fine, right? Then, the difficult part. We installed the models. Now, again, it should tell you where they're supposed to go. But all the models should go into diffusion models, the VEI into the VEI, the clip into the clip vision to the clip vision, right? Okay, now once we've gotten the models, we need to create our Python environment. This is the really difficult part. You will have to go to a different video because it takes about 30 minutes to install all the stuff you need, and it is quite difficult. The nice part about my workflow is you can skip all of that. If it's too difficult for you, if you can't get it to work on your machine, you can just bypass all of it. It will be slower, but it will work. First thing we're going to do is just go to the ComfyUI website and download it straight from there. Now, I already have it downloaded, so we're just going to go to the downloads folder and then extract it all. I'm going to go through the installation process real quick of ComfyUI, but if you don't know any of this and you've never used ComfyUI, this is probably not where you should start because it's quite difficult. So what you want to do is just run NVIDIA GPU. If you're using a CPU, you can do run CPU. Exactly. Now you'll be greeted usually with just an empty workflow, but this workflow is the one we're using today. Now, as you can see, a lot of things are still missing that we're going to install now. I will have links for everything at the bottom of this video, but first, if you want my workflow, you can just go to Sageattn, to my profile, or just search for simple GGUF WAN workflow. You should find it, it's quite popular already, which I'm pretty happy about. By the time you see this video, the page will probably be updated a little bit and not look exactly like this. Now, when you downloaded the file, it should just be a zip folder. You should extract it again, and inside is just a JSON file. Now, if you go back into your ComfyUI folder, we're going to install ComfyUI Manager. This is going to make it a lot easier to install a lot of these custom things. Again, if you don't know anything that I'm doing, maybe do something else first. So I'm just going to download the zip from GitHub straight, but you can just clone the repo inside your command line if you want. So now we're back in our ComfyUI folder. To make it a little easier for you guys, I'm gonna have the actual place to put the custom nodes as a text box, so you know exactly where to put it. Okay, so I'm just gonna run it again, and we see that ComfyUI Manager should be starting up right now. Okay, so once it's started up, you'll be greeted once again with just unsafe workflow, so just the beginning, right? Just empty. Now, we have downloaded my workflow, right? So we're just going to put it straight into ComfyUI. You can just drag and drop it in there. Sometimes the workflows will be an image. You can also just drag and drop it inside of the metadata. There is the actual workflow, okay? So now it will tell us that there's just a bunch of nodes missing. These nodes are ones I used to create the workflow, to make it work right on 4 GB VRAM. So we're just going to install it using the ComfyUI Manager, because it's a lot simpler than downloading each repository. You can do that if you want, but even in my page, it says just do it this way because it's simpler. And after it's all finished installing, we're just going to restart the whole ComfyUI. As you can see, I just missed to install one node, so we're just going to do it again, just to show you guys that this is not a problem. It happens, then you just go back to ComfyUI. I'm going back to custom nodes. You can see here, install missing custom nodes, there we go. And here it is, we just install it, restart again, do the whole thing, we should be fine. So now that we have installed all of the custom nodes, you shouldn't see any of them red and like grayed out. They should all be there. This might be a little bit different because I'm going to update the workflow right now as well. But most importantly, it's just that there's nothing red, nothing grayed out. When you look at my page, right, it also has important information. Now, these are the nodes. This is what we just installed, but we made it with the ComfyUI Manager, which is just way easier and better, right? The models you need. Here, this one is only for the models. So only download some of these, right? Q8, all that means is less quantized, bigger, more VRAM. Q2, smaller, less VRAM, right? I to V is image to video. So if you want to do image to video, that's the model you're going to need. If you just want to do text to video, the models are right here, right? So it's just doing a prompt and then getting a video, okay? Clip Vision H and all this stuff, don't download from here. It doesn't really work together with the workflow, right? I have it separate right here. So I'm going to click on here, the main files, the split files, Clip Vision, Diffusion Multitext, they. These are the already like the names of where you're going to put the models. Because if you look at if you look back to your ComfyUI installation, you will see ComfyUI. This time not we don't go to custom nodes, we actually go to models.
Models. So, see right here, diffusion models, the VAE, the clip vision, that's where we're going to put these files. Now, I already have the models. I have a lot of stuff here. I look at my clip vision H folder, right here. Download it. Diffusion models, right? I have Flux, and I also have those models. I'm not going to go through every single step of the installation, but you can just look up how to download models into ComfyUI. It's not that hard, pretty easy. Yeah. And most of the time when you're on GitHub or Hugging Face, where you download it, it tells you where you're supposed to put it. That's all you have to do, right? The stuff that's a little more triggered is our Python embedded.
One thing I did miss, if you go to my workflow, again, this might look a little different once you have it, the upscale model. But this is really easy to install because you can just go to Manager, Model Manager, and now we just search for it. And I think it was called 4x Foolhardy. There we go. Now we just install. It's not big, it's very small. So this will go very quick. And after refreshing, there we go.
If you try to make something now, for example, it would just stop right here because patch Sageattn, you don't have Sageattn. Now, it's quite difficult. Python environments in general are quite difficult to understand, especially for someone who has no coding background or knowledge in computers at all.
So, because I'm trying to actually finish this video, I'm gonna give you guys some other videos to watch that actually explain it quite well, that I personally use to build this workflow myself. So as long as you follow each of their steps, you should be fine. It takes about half an hour to install these things. It is what it is. All I can say is make sure you do the path things, make sure you put everything, all the libraries on path that you need, make sure you install the correct components of Microsoft Visual Studio, and make sure that your Python environment isn't updated too high. I would always go with lower versions of PyTorch. Alright, so now, still not there. Here we go. Okay. Alright, so this is the new version of the model. I'm going to go through each part to show you guys. So now it's going to be split into two workflows, one for image to video, one for text to video. You will see here are all the loaders. So it's going to load the GGUF file, it's going to load the clip, it's going to load the VAE. For me, it loads the clip into the CPU, so I have more VRAM for the actual model. You can change this just to default and it will all be inside your GPU. Okay, now it does say compiling, but we're not doing compiling anymore. You can use the Torch compiler if it works for you. I cannot get it to work anymore. I don't know what update happened, but I really just cannot get it to work anymore. Patch Sageattn. This is kind of the stuff we installed. It's going to make it all go a lot faster. If it didn't work for you, if you couldn't install it or you're on a different system, you can just disable this and it'll be fine. But you will need Sageattn. I like to use Triton. That's why we install it all. That's what I use. T-Cage. It's just caging. It makes it go a lot faster. Make sure your coefficients are exactly the model you're using. So for me, 14B works because it's a 14B model. I could also use the 1.3B if I'm using like a smaller parameter model. Yeah, and it gives you great information here. So I'm not really going to go into this, but definitely give this a read. Very simple. Now we got our text, our positive prompt, our negative prompt. This will go into our tiled case sampler. It's tiled again. I don't have a lot of VRAM, so you don't have to use tiled. You can use the WAN one from KeyJ, but I like to use this. Now I like to also use the WAN video enhancer video. It helps me get better generations. That's why it's there. Now for the text to video, this is just going to be an empty Hanyon latent video into the latent image. And then we go to the VAE decode, again, tiled, again, for a good reason. This preview image is just there so I know like if it worked or it didn't. because we're still going to do upscaling and frame interpolation right here. This is the upscale model, this is the upscaler, and then Rive creates frames. If you play some video games, you kind of should know what frame generation is. It's sometimes faster to just generate frames out of 2 frames rather than generate that frame using the AI model, right? And here is simple video combine. Yeah, that makes the video right here. Okay. Now so this is the image to video workflow. Now it's very similar, as you can see. There's just a few differences. First of all, this does the conditioning for the image to video. You can have the clip vision output, the start image, and the prompts and the vape. Now, very important, you don't need to have a start image, but you can. I like to use the one you put in. So that means the first frame is exactly that picture, and then it will move from there. You could not do that, or you could use, or you could do that, pretty much. Now, here is the empty latent video, basically. The length are the frames. The tiled K-sampler is the same. This is exactly the same. So, yeah, that should explain it all. I have tested a bunch of results, as you will see right here. I'm going to make a little article about that to show you the results and how long each generation took, and also have the actual generations uploaded to Civet AI. I hope that might be interesting for you guys. For the future, I would like to make a first frame, last frame version. I've seen that's kind of cool, a new thing you can do. Maybe get torch compiling to work again, that'd be nice, but I don't know about that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this version. Alright, you guys reached the end of the video. I'm gonna have some results here for you, but they're gonna be in the article mainly. I hope you guys give me a follow on Civet AI, Instagram, or YouTube if you guys really enjoyed this video. Maybe give a comment, a like. This took weeks to make, and I think it even has a lot of problems, mostly, right? But thank you for listening. I'm finished.